Congratulations, Oscar, on 15 years of Bonsai Empire. That is super cool and super impressive when I think about it, that you've been starting this whole idea when you were like 16 years old maybe, and sitting in front of your computer thinking about how you could promote the art of bonsai throughout the world. And now 15 years later you get like literally every major bonsai artist around the world to answer questions for you and making videos about it. That is so cool. Anyways, thank you for letting me be part of this, and I'm gonna be answering a question about air layering. Let's cut to the chase. The question from Dietmar Freitag is: how does air layering work? Air layering is a natural process. Whenever a tree is damaged, the normal reaction is to callus the damaged area and grow new layers of bark over it. However, if certain requirements are met, the tree can also decide to make new roots instead. Let's look at some examples. On this tree we can see normal callusing on the upper right hole. But since the damaged area was too big, the insides of the tree have rotten down before the tree could grow over it. A natural hollow trunk was created. At the bottom left, the tree produced new roots running inside of the old trunk, where it was dark and moist.
My name is Nobody.
One more example to show that air layering is not something that's limited to deciduous trees. This mugo pine has a lot of natural deadwood. At one point the deadwood had rotten down so that the cambium was exposed from the inside of the tree. As a reaction, it produced roots into the deadwood of the trunk. Today these roots are dead and have no more function in supplying the tree. So in conclusion, we can say that once we meet the correct requirements, we can get roots out of damaged tissue instead of a normal callus. The key elements are to keep the tree strong and the cutting side moist and dark. Okay, now to implement this knowledge into our arsenal of bonsai techniques, we need to have a look at the anatomy and the physiology of the tree. This is the first thing that I teach beginners before they get to touch anything in the nursery. Understanding how the tree is built and how it works will help you with a lot of your beginner questions. So grab a biology book and learn what there is to learn about the trees you're working on. Luckily today, I'm not alone. I have my boys helping me out, and they also know a thing or two about air layering.
Hallo, mein Name ist Mathis und ich wollte euch in diesem Video den Aufbau des Stammes zeigen. Das ist der Baum im Ganzen. Hier haben wir schon gleich die erste Schicht, die Rinde. Die ist für den Schutz des Baumes zuständig, vor Kälte und Stößen. Zweite Schicht. Das ist der Bast, der ist für den Transport von dem Zucker zuständig, von den Blättern in die Wurzeln. Danach kommt das Cambium. Das ist die Wachstumsschicht. Die ist für Wachstum des Baums zuständig. Logisch. So. Und vierte Schicht ist das Sprintholz. Die ist für den Transport von dem Wasser in die Blätter zuständig, also für die Wurzeln in die Blätter. Und dann gibt es noch die letzte Schicht, das ist das Kernholz. Die ist aber nicht in jedem Baum enthalten, die ist für die Stabilisation des Baumes zuständig.
Hello, my name is Marian. In the following part of the video, I would like to tell you something about the function of air layer. For an effective air layer, you have to cut an inch-wide ring around the trunk of the tree. Just like that. Make sure that the cambium is fully cut, so the nutrients of the tree can't travel all the way down the trunk. Now the tree can react in two ways to this cut. First, it could close it up with a callus, or second, if the area is held dark and wet, it could create new roots in this place, like this. So if you want new roots around this area, you have to make sure that the cambium is fully cut and this place is held dark and wet with something like moss. The best time to create an air layer is when the tree is full of juice, like in spring.
Hi, my name is Andy. I tried to air layer this lilac in my garden 2 years ago. I tried to use a flower pot instead of a plastic wrap, so I could just water the pot with the rest of my plants. First I prepared the pot by cutting a hole in the bottom and down one of the sides so I could wrap it around the trunk of the lilac. Then I cut a 1-inch wide ring around the stem of the lilac. I couldn't really tell where the cambium was, so I made it about 5 millimeters deep. The inside of the trunk was basically all the same color and texture, so I couldn't tell where the cambium was. Then I wrapped the pot around the trunk, taped it back together and secured it with some wires, and then I filled it with sphagnum moss and macadamia and watered it heavily. I waited for 1 year till next spring to check if it had grown some roots, but when I checked this spring there were no roots, just some callousing over the cut, so I probably didn't make the cut deep enough. So I decided to cut it again this year, renew the top edge and make the cut about 5 millimeters deeper than last year and just do the same procedure as the year before. And this fall I finally saw some roots growing out of the bottom of the pot, and I will wait till next spring to remove the pot and check if there's enough roots to separate the tree.
Alright, back in the office. I hope you liked the video about air layering, and the thing to take away from here is that it's really so important to get your basics down. It's like you try to perform surgery on the tree, and you should at least have the courtesy to know about the anatomy and the physiology of the tree before you try anything crazy. Okay?